Join me for part 2 of getting the house back to normal after Christmas. Today we'll be doing the mantle in the music room.
Our hearts beat to the city street.
Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by today. Today we're going to be working in the music room on the mantle, and I'm going to be getting it back to normal. This is post-Christmas. It's late January and I'm busy doing everything and getting everything back to where it's supposed to go. Today I'm going to be working on the mantle in the music room, and actually it took me 3 tries to get it to the point where I'm kind of happy with it. So you'll see version number 1, you'll see a version number 2, and then you'll see the final version number 3. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. Just like always, I don't go out and buy stuff. It's basically what I have. So I use things that are meaningful for us, and I shop what I have already. So because I change everything so many times, I'd go broke if I kept buying stuff.
Okay, so I have a grouping of 3, but it just doesn't feel right. It feels like it needs something right there. And I don't want to put another picture. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another sculptural element to it at that point. So I added this in. I think it's interesting. It has the right look and the right color. And it's not another picture, so it doesn't look like a 4 grouping. It's still that 3 grouping plus the 1. Next on for another sculptural element is this. And actually this used to be Marianne's parents' lamps. I don't know what room they were in, maybe in the living room or the bedroom, I'm not quite sure. And they were colorful, and you know, they're actually from, I think they're from the early 1950s. And they had those 50 colors to them, but they weren't working, and they were lamps. And again, they weren't working right. So what I did was I painted them black and then brushed them over with the gold. And this is one of them. And this is another one of them. And I thought they looked appropriate in here because they look kind of like they're dancing, right? You see the ballet slippers on them and so on. So again, it goes in this room. So I put the 2 of those on for architectural reasons. Now, if you notice, there is the bolt up there where the lamp used to be, and I cannot cut it off because if I did, I run the risk of this all falling apart because they are kind of like a clay ceramic, and I don't know how sturdy they actually are after all of this time. So I'll figure out something for up there, but right now this is where we are. So just to give you my thought process, you can see the height in the middle and then it comes down on the sides. So what I need is something low here so it has a triangle kind of a shape. So I want to use books on the end because it gives that academic kind of a feeling. So I went hunting through my stash and I took out all my black books with gold writing on the side. All right, because I don't want all, like a bunch of all different colors and stuff like that. I want to keep it, in this black and gold and whatnot kind of a look here. So I'm going to arrange these books at each end of those sculptural old lamps. I used a grouping of 3 books, 2 upright, and that one with the pages showing only because it didn't fit correctly, but I think it looks fine because it gives some contrast. Every time you have something that's a little bit different, it adds depth and contrast to it, and I did that on each side. Now it needs something on top of that book. And then once again, I felt like it needed a little bit of height on top of that book. So I used these 3 metal candle holders. And I'm going to use these candles over there because see that? As well as that. So it carries that color to the other side of the room. I walked away and I came back and I really didn't like the way those 3 candles looked. So I had these bronzed baby shoes here with a marble bottom, which serve as bookends. So again, it's just a variation on something interesting, right? And I add one of those candles behind it. And I also added one here as well. Okay, so that is the mantle. I'll show you the whole thing at the end. I'm just going to put a little down at the bottom here before I show you everything. Just so you know, I had to take everything off, and I put Christmas lights in the back over there just to give a soft glow up. So I think down here I'm going to add a little bit of winter element. I'm going to use a big beaker filled with pine cones. I'm going to try it. Okay, so this is the beaker, and funny story about this. I was hired to clean out a lab that was closing. It was being changed, and they were throwing the glassware away. And this was an actual beaker from that lab. And when I saw it, I was like, this would be crazy expensive to buy this. So I asked them if I could have it, and they said, sure, take it. And so I use it for cases like this. It's really, really heavy and thick. Okay, so that gives a nice bit of warmth because of the coloring, as well as a touch of the season, the winter, right? The pine cones. And they're free. You just got to go out and collect them. So, everything I use has a story, right? So this is also kind of sentimental because my father found this on somebody's trash down the shore, and he picked it up and he brought it home and he spray painted it gold, and he gave it to me. He said, "Oh, I know you can use this, and you're so busy, I'm going to take care of it for you." So I always think of him, how happy he was when he gave this to us, that he had found it and he revived it. So there you go. All right, so we're going to continue right here. I want to put something back here so that it makes a grouping of 3. Now what I'm using here is this wrought iron stand to pick up the black. And then I have that fireplace bellow, and it has a story too. With the building that we worked in, the original main part of the building, the high school was built in 1923. And they were renovating the woodshop labs, which were located in that part of the building. And they were getting rid of a lot of stuff. And Marianne was walking to the car one day, and she saw on a pile of garbage outside this fireplace bellow. So it is probably from the 1920s. So again, story and appropriate, looks great, and gives some character. And rather than putting a candle up there, because I have so many candles going on the mantle, I chose to put, it is a candle holder, but it's a French horn. All right, so we went out yesterday, and then when I came back, I looked at what I did, and I absolutely hated it. So I changed it. This piece was here, right next to the mirror. So I moved it over there. And then I put it on top of one book, and I put the books, and I put the shoe here to press against, like, bookends. And then I added in these 2 candles because I moved this picture over to the center. And then I did the same thing on the opposite side. I moved this piece, which was here, over to here, put it on a book, put the books, and then put the shoe here so that it looks like. This morning I got up and I took a look at it, and I absolutely hated it because the 2 pieces of it, like these, they're too clunky or something. I don't know, something is not right there. It just doesn't feel right. And then I started to think that these pictures are too opaque for the reflective property of the mirror. So I started thinking, okay, maybe I can put 2 mirrors here, and that might make that section look better, and then go back to using lamps on each end. So I'm going to take this all down again and try it one more time. Okay, I'm back to this for the 3rd time. Okay, so I luckily have this mirror, which has the same finish I did on this one because I found this in the shop. So now I'd like to put a mirror there, but I don't know if that's going to be too much. I'm going to see. I think I like that. I think that I like that better. I put a candlestick light at each end of the mantle. All right, so I need a bookend here, and I don't like the way the baby shoe looks. So I think I have an idea of something that's appropriate for the music room. I can make a bookend for each side. Okay, so this is easy. I just took a board and I measured how much I wanted, and I actually hot glued this piece to here because I have this horn, right? And look, I'm gonna paint this out black, and then I have the horn and I have a bookend. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and comment. Bye bye. See you soon.